Well, I certainly want to welcome everybody onto the call. I appreciate so much that you're coming here. And I just have to share with you a little bit about why we're doing this. We're talking about how to promote your ebooks with Easy Money Bots. And the one thing that everybody needs when you're dealing with any kind of website, any kind of online promotions, you need people coming to visit your website. You need people to come and download your ebooks. You need traffic. And Becky and I were talking one day about getting traffic and stuff like that. And I know that Jane and Phil, Mark here and Phil Baston are two really, really awesome people when it comes to getting traffic to your website. That's what they specialize in. They're the co-founders of SoCool, S-O-K-U-L-E, and Yakamore, and they've got some other sites too. But it was just a little bit confusing for us. And so I got a hold of Jane, who's a very, very good friend of mine, and Phil, who's also a very, very good friend of mine. We've done a lot together over the years. We've shared a lot of time together and really enjoy each other's company. But Jane is an absolute expert when it comes to getting people to come and visit your website. And without visitors, you don't have a website. So Jane, we've asked you to come on board and explain to us a little bit about SoCool. I know we offer a big bonus to people when they join Traffic Guys, when they join Easy Money Bots, and you're giving them a bunch of tokens, of which most of us
5 million actually, right?
Exactly, and very few of us know that much about what to do with these tokens. And so I'm going to turn it over to you. I may pop in here and there, but I would ask you to explain to us what SoCool and Yakamore is all about, and any other ways that you can think of that we can drive traffic to get people to download our ebooks and to see what it is that we have to offer.
Great. Well, thanks, Frank. And before we started, you and I were chatting about what good friends we are. And
Yeah.
it is always a pleasure to be on a webinar with you or on a cruise with you. It doesn't matter where we are. We love being with you. And before I start, I want to say to you guys one thing. Frank has the perfect vehicle called Easy Money Bots, where you can give away a product, and you must be giving away things in order to get people to buy whatever you're selling. So Easy Money Bots really fits right in with what Frank was talking about. How do you get, if you can get people to your Easy Money Bot, either your affiliate link to sell the actual site, or to these ebooks that you have your links in and that you give away, you really are on your way to making money online. But Frank is right. If you can't get traffic to your ebook, or you can't get traffic to your Easy Money Bots affiliate link, you're going to be throwing up your hands and saying, oh my God, what did I get involved with? We all started that way. We all, believe me, even Phil and I started that way almost
We all
40
started
years
that
ago.
way, yes.
We all started that way saying, oh my God, what do I do now? So with that kind of umbrella, let's say, over what we're going to do this afternoon, I want to talk to you about first the concept of what Yakamore and SoCool are, and then we'll do some actual demonstrations. And a lot of people, let's start this way. When people come to SoCool and they sign up and they go into the members area, which, let me do that for you so you can see why people go, what do I do? When you log in to the members area, Phil, you can, okay. No, I just might need some, sorry guys, I'm just having a little technical difficulty here. Okay. All right, I'm logging into my account, and when you get to the members area, you'll see what I mean when I say people go, oh my God, what do I do now? SoCool and Yakimore. I'm not going to show you what we do now. I'm just going to show you the inside of the members area, but we'll get there. SoCool and Yakimore are very simple sites. The idea behind each of them is that they are advertising sites giving you two very, very important ways to get traffic to your sites. Now, what are those two ways? They are both absolutely essential to marketing online. The first is you need to incorporate social media marketing into your advertising tools in this day and age. If you are not using social media to advertise to and to form friendships with and groups and all of that, you're not advertising. End of story. So number one, both SoCool and Yakimore are social media posting sites. So write that down. Put that down on number one on your notes. They're social media marketing sites where you can post to other social media sites. And Phil, I'm going to ask you if you can put the follow along link up in the chat box so people can follow along with what I'm saying. Okay, so number one, they're both posting sites. Where are they posting? They're posting to other social media sites. The second thing that both of these sites do is build a list for you. Let me say that again. Both Yakimore and SoCool build a list for you. And when Frank mentioned Sokens in the beginning, that you get a Sokens bonus when you buy Easy Money Bots, it's by means of these little things that we call Sokens, which I'll show you a little bit later, that we build a list for you on autopilot. And when I say we build the list for you, that is exactly what I mean. We do the list building for you. Now, it is virtually impossible to make money online if you do not have a list, and a list that you can contact daily by email. So make another note there. Email. You need to have a list that you can reach by email, and you need to be able to reach them at their contact addresses. Both SoCool and Yakimore build a list for you automatically, and you can email that list. Those are the two main concepts underlying SoCool and Yakimore. So when you log into the SoCool members area, you may see all these boxes and go, what do I do? Forget
That's
it.
why we got you here, Jane.
Right, we're going to show you exactly what you do, but if you keep in mind that there are only really two things you want to do at SoCool, and we'll get to Yakimore later. One thing you want to do is post a message, and the second thing you want to do is email your list. So you can ignore for the time being all of these boxes in here. You'll get to know them over time. The only thing you need to know when you log into the SoCool members area is that there are 3 posting boxes. And they all say post, so you can't miss the fact that they're posting boxes. Post message, post on SockWall, post on CoolWall. The only other thing that you need to know is that there's a little thing here that says email trackers. And Phil, if you'll go in so that later on when I do email, if you go in and clear my mailing clock so I can show people. If you know where these 1, 2, 3, 4 boxes are located, you know 99% of what SoCool does. Now, if you want to see where you're posting to, you need to go to this little box that says posting sites. We post to about 50 some odd actual social media sites Facebook, Twitter, Yakimore, Delicious Pastas, you name it. You'll see them here. This shows you where we're posting to. We also post to targeted blogs, so that if you're in a health related field, you would want to post to the Good Health Week blog. If you're in music, you can post to tunes and stuff. If your main emphasis on the net is blogging, we have a blog called Cool Blogger. So these are your actual social media sites at the top, and at the bottom are all your targeted blogs. Now people say to me, I always love this. This is my favorite question. People say, do I actually have to join the social media sites to post to them? And I'm thinking to myself, well, if you thought about that question for a minute, how would your posts get to a social media site if you didn't belong to it? So the answer is yes. If you want to post from SoCool with one click, because that's all you need to do once you join these sites, you do not have to ever log into them. I almost never log into these sites because I make all my posts from SoCool. And once I make one post, it's all over the net virtually instantly. So yes, you do have to join these sites, and once you join them, if you open your posting site box, all you're going to see is Ad Network, Ad Network. You can see mine says Edit Network. That's because I belong to all of these social media sites, and I've added usually just your login information is required. So you do have to join them. Now some people do not want to join them themselves, and we have you covered there, guys. This is a service that we use ourselves, so we know it's great. It's called Profiles Done For You, and there's a firm called Brand Go Live that will set up all of your social media sites. They do it for you. They brand you at all of these sites so that whenever somebody sees you, they see the same kind of information at all of the social media sites. And the cost, and then they even enter it into SoCool for you, which is really what I love about it. So I have a number of sites at SoCool. When I need a new one set up, I go here. The cost is $197 one time. It is well worth it because they do some backlinking for you, and they make your first post. They send you all of your logins for all of the social media sites that they joined for you. It's a very good service. Now, you don't have to use that. You certainly can just join by yourself. You can do it over a week or two. You don't have to do them all in one day. And many of them you probably belong to right now anyway. So you don't have to get scared when you open that box. They join the targeted blogs, by the way, for you too. So they do the whole Megillah for you. You're covered from all aspects. Now, so you have to know where that box is. You have to know 3 posting places, where your social media sites are. You need to know that you can email your trackers, and you need to know that there's an area called Sockets, which we'll get to just a little bit later. What I'm going to do today, because we're going to do both sites, I'm not going to post. Usually I show you how to post on all of these post message box. I'm just going to show you one post today because they all basically work the same. Oh, in fact, let me not show you let's go back out of here. Let me show you the really powerful one because they all work principally the same. But SockWall, which is right here, is the most powerful place to post on SoCool. And the reason for that is, let me show you. If you go to CoolWall or you go to the post message box, you can post a message 500 characters long, which is great, a lot longer than Twitter and a lot of sites. Oh, at SockWall, you can post a message as long as you want. It can be a press release, it can be an article, it can just be a regular ad that you send out. But there are no limits on the length of your message. So I almost always go right to Sockwall to make a post. So let's actually do one post so you can, because if you can do Sockwall, the other posting sites are identical. And I have an ad that I was sending out, so let's use this. I'm just going to, this is just a regular old ad. Phil, you're going to have to just pop this in for me, okay? Okay, hang on. Phil's giving me a hand here because my wrist is sore, so I'm having a problem with all you do is copy and you paste it in here. Now, you see this where it says post on all sites? You're going to select that, and if Phil opens this for me, select all of the social media sites.
Wow.
I always post, right, but it's all at one time. Now, there are sometimes maybe you don't want to post something to some site. You're welcome to just deselect them, and it'll only go to the sites you want. The next box you click is allow the post to ping additional weblogs. And you can see that it opens up about, I think it's about 33 weblogs that we ping for you when your post goes out. And without going into a lot of details about pinging, it makes the search engine sit up and take notice that there's new content on the net, i.e. your content. So you want to select that box. Then you can select targeted blogs. If you go up a little further, you can select targeted blogs. Now, remember, you don't want to put your post on weddings, for example. We have the thing, cool art, cool weddings. I'm doing a business traffic site. So I'm going to post on, well, first of all, it's traffic. So let's go to the bottom one, Phil, where that looking glass is. I'm going to post on an SEO site, a blog that has to do with search engines, because that's what I'm really talking about here. And I'm going to post on Cool Blogger, which is kind of a catch-all. Now, on here, okay, let me just show you that you can edit this. I'm not going to do all the fancy stuff now, but what I usually do is make the top line bold. You can change the font size. Hang on. Okay. Do you want to just take this over from? Okay, you can change the font size to 2. And you can make colors, and you can do all that, and just make it go off all left. Okay, so whatever you want to do with this, you can underline it, you can do whatever you want, and you can make it look as fancy or as simple as you like. You can also attach a graphic at the bottom, so I always keep the So Cool logo in there. And then to post it, just go Save Post. And it takes a few seconds to click over. And then you're going to have an ad. But here's what's really, really interesting about posting on Sockwall. Here's the post I just did, 18 hours, $875, yada yada, right? Okay, if I go and look at this post, it actually generated a unique link for me. This is what it looks like, right? Just a regular old ad. But it generated a link for me, which I can then copy, and I can take this unique link, which is going to show this whole post, and I can post it anywhere I want on the net. So this is the most powerful part of posting on So Cool. And let me just stop for a minute and go over to Facebook, and you'll see that this post is going to pop right onto my Facebook profile from So Cool. There's the limo that we
There's
always
that
drive
sweetie.
out.
There's Jane. I love that lady.
Okay, so 18 hours. This is, you just saw me post this 2 seconds ago, and there's it doesn't, of course, pick up the whole post. It picks up the subject line, and then if you click on this bit.ly, it will take you to that, back to the sock wall post where people can read your whole posts. This, guys, is very, very powerful. When you hit that update, it's not only on Facebook, it's on Facebook and Yakima, which we'll get to a little bit later, instantly. Here's the whole post that we just did. But it's also, and it's on a 20-minute delay. And then it goes onto all of the other social media sites and targeted blogs. So this really simplifies your social media posting. Why do you want to, in my opinion, keep logging into all of these social media sites, and when you can do it all in one place? And you can also end up with a very snazzy looking post. And by the way, if somebody doesn't like what you advertise, let's say they have no interest in what I was just sending out, but maybe they look at this beautiful banner and they said, what is this about? How did somebody get a post there that looks like this? If they click through to this, they will be clicking through to your SoCool affiliate link. So if you don't get one sign up here for this thing you're promoting, you can still get a sign up under you at SoCool, and of course SoCool you can make commissions.
Jane, I have to ask you a question.
Sure.
Who's your top affiliate?
Oh, look, I better show the top affiliates. Wait, let me get
you don't have to, Jane. I was
no,
only
I
kidding.
have to go back in anyway. No, that's a good question. Who's our top affiliate? Let's take a look. Okay. If you want to know who, you go right back into the members area. And this is very interesting, by the way. And it's not just because you'll see who's the top affiliate at SoCool. But I'll tell you why this is really interesting. If you go to SoCool Stars, that's what I just clicked on. This is going to bring up a list. There he is. Frank Sousa has 13,105 people tracking him. And yes! I'm beating him by a little bit, but not by much. So, but here's the more important part. We have pages. These people are called SoCool Achievers, and they have built lists. And when I say built lists, we actually built it for them, of over 6,000 people, and there are pages of them. And then if you go down here, here's people who will be built lists of over 5,000 people. And if you click here, these go on for pages and pages. People who never had a list in their lives on the net have one at SoCool. And it just goes on for pages and pages, people with 3,000 members on their list, all of which we're building for you at SoCool. This is where these people are making sales, guys, because they can email these people every 3 days. So let's get to the next most important part of SoCool. You saw that we have 3 posting boxes. The one I showed you is the most complicated, but the strongest. Most complicated meaning you can do a lot of stuff there with your editor box. The others are regular post message box like you would find on Twitter or other sites. But they all work exactly the way I just showed you. Now, here's where the next real power of SoCool comes in. Now, I want to stop here before I show you the email box. You must be an upgraded member of SoCool in order to do most of what I'm showing you today. And just as a general overview on the net, I know people love to join sites free. I know that, it sounds great. It's, oh, everything's free. And if you really want sophisticated advertising tools on the net, you do have to upgrade. So I'm just saying that for any of you guys who might be here who are free members of SoQual, you can't do what I'm doing and showing you here. So we'll deal with that a little bit later, but I just want you to know that these boxes won't open for you. They'll all say upgrade. So in case you are wondering why they say upgrade, it's because you must be a silver member or higher of SoQual to do all of the things I'm showing you right now. Okay, you can email your trackers, and you saw in my case, I have 14,000 people on my list. That's a lot of people. That's a big list for anybody. So every 3 days, I can go in here, and I just go to send your message now, and it'll open up a mailing box. Now, this is, you can't put, unlike SoQual where you can write as long a message as you like, in the, we call it a direct squeak, but it's really just an email that's going out. You do have to limit yourself to 500 characters. And what you do is you simply copy and paste from something that you've had. This one's going to be a little too long, so let's see if I have a shorter version. I'll just make a shorter version of it. I'll just copy this. And that's going to be about 500 characters. You get to sort of know what you can put in. So I'm going to paste this. And if you just go like that, you see I even have 73 characters left. So this is, again, a whole promo that I'm sending out. Now, this is not going to the social media sites. This is going directly to my list of 14,000 members, and it's going right into their contact email address that they signed up with. So that's a very powerful mailer. It is not going to throwaway addresses. Now, you may wonder, what are these things underneath here? I'm going to email all my 14,000 members, but if I wanted to, I could email, when I first signed up to SoQual, I signed up using 3 categories that were of interest to me. One is beauty, one is blogging, promotion and marketing, and one is pet and pet supplies. If I want to, I can uncheck this email all followers, and I could just send this message to my blogging people. In fact, I think I'll do that because probably Cuddles, my pet, is not interested in traffic, so I don't really have to send it to him. But the point is, you can target your post at SoQual. We'll get to that. It's even more sophisticated when we get to Yakima. So all you do to send a message is go click, and it's going to give you this little mailing box. It doesn't go out quite this fast, but it does let you know that your mailing has started, and it goes to all of your trackers. Very powerful stuff. Very powerful stuff. Okay, so how did Frank and I get 14,000 trackers, and how can you do exactly the same thing? And how can you get at least 5,000 within, I would say, 3 months? You can have 5,000 members on SoQual. And that's where these little things that we call tokens comes in. So remember, we said there are really only a few critical places: posting your message, where the social media sites are that you joined, emailing your trackers every 3 days, and now we're going to go to these little tokens and show you how they work. Let's start here with this little purple box at the top, and you're going to see this little purple box all throughout the members area of SoQual. It tells you how many tokens you have currently in your account. Now, I'm in SoQual all the time, so I have a lot of tokens. I have 96,507,555 tokens. Why do I care how many tokens I have, right? I mean, you say, oh, that's fine, so what? Well, what happens is when you have tokens in your account, you can make an offer of tokens to other members. So you go here, and what are you offering them? You are offering them tokens, because if, let's say you're a free member and you just joined SoCool, you're going to have tokens in your account, 10,000 of them. But if you want to really get trackers fast, you want to earn a lot of tokens so that you can offer them to other members to track you. In other words, you're going to accumulate tokens so that you can bribe. I know it sounds like a terrible word. You can induce or you can bribe other members at SoCool to track you. Why do you want them to track you? Because you can post to them every single day and you can email them every 3 days. So you want these people to be tracking you. So you're going to offer them as many tokens as you can afford to in order to get them to track you. Right now, I'm offering 551,000 tokens for every person who tracks me at SoCool. And Frank is offering a lot of tokens. He doesn't know that because I keep updating his offers for him. But the reason he's getting all of these followers and trackers at SoCool is because he has a nice high offer of tokens at SoCool. So why is that important? Watch what happens when I scroll down here. Okay, here's Cool Search 1 is offering 130. What is that? 1 million.
1,380,000.
Oh my God! Somebody's really offering a lot of. I don't even know who did this. You can see me down here. I'm now at the bottom of the top of the list with my measly 551,000. Somebody went in here. I think it's my support team to make me go, ah! Anyway, if you go and follow Cool Search 1 right now, what's going to happen is your tokens are going to have 1,380,000 tokens in your account, which I never even knew. I got to lower that later on today. And JP Ads has 1,378,000. Jesus. So, guys, if you go in right now, and if you're assuming you're not following JP Ads or Cool Search 1, you're going to end up with over 2 million tokens, and I'll show you how you grab them in a minute. The point is, the people who are offering a lot of tokens are the ones that get seen here first, and they get their tokens taken first. Now, everybody gets tokens, and everybody's tokens eventually gets claimed. As you can see, people just claimed 500 tokens from this user. This shows you who gave away tokens usually. So you don't have to have a huge offer like that. When you sign up, even free, we make an auto offer for you, and you can see that where we go to claim tokens. If you signed up to SoCool right now, you would have 10,000 tokens in your account, and we would make an auto offer. You don't do anything at all. It just automatically shows up that you offer 500 tokens to anyone who follows you. So first you make an offer, and you can up that, but we make it for you initially. Once you change it, it just keeps going on its own until your tokens run out. But you don't ever have to run out of tokens, because when you go to claim tokens, if you're new to SoCool, you will see you have thousands of these little things that say track. I go in every day and claim them, so I only have a few of the newest members that just signed up. But here's somebody who just joined SoCool. I know they're a free member because they're offering 500 tokens. Remember, that's an auto offer that we made. And watch what happens. If I have, look at my last number of 555 tokens. If I go and track M. DeMarco, which I'm going to do right now, all I do is click on track. I am now on his list. I am now following him. What he gave up is 500 tokens to bribe me to track him, which I did. And as you can see, I gained 500 tokens in my own account. Now let's say I go and I track Seguala. Okay, so I just click track, and I have another 500 Sokins. You can see this went up by 1,000 just by tracking 2 people offering a relatively low amount. So if you guys go into your SoCool account, you will find that you can pick up millions, literally millions of Sokins with a few clicks like that. And if these had those 1 million showing, which they won't in my account, but they will in yours, you just keep picking up Sokins and they keep augmenting your account. Then you just go back into offer Sokins and you can put whatever amount you want in there. And I'm going to just get these people's goats here by going 2 million Sokins. I'm going to change that later. 1, 2, 3, is that right? 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. I'm going to offer 2 million Sokins, which I can do because I have a lot of Sokins up there. And now, if we go down to see who's offering what, SoCool is now on the top of the pack by offering 2 million Sokins. So it's really that easy. And what it results in is a very fast list. It's also fun to do, obviously. It's fun to play around with the numbers, see who's offering more and less or whatever. But it's real serious because what it is doing is building a list for you and getting people to track you. And we have close to 80,000 members now on SoCool. So everyone knows where to go to claim people's Sokins. So you will, I call it instant list because you will build a list at SoCool before the ink is dry on your sign up. And that's really true. Now, in order to access that list, you do need to upgrade at SoCool, right? You're not going to do this as a free member. But the prices, you'll find them here, the prices at SoCool to upgrade are really reasonable. And for $197 a year, you can get everything I'm showing and everything else that I'm not going to be able to go over today with SoCool. So it's really, and if you, Phil, you put up the follow-along link, right? Okay, so if any of you are not members of SoCool, that's Frank's sign-up link on the follow-along link that Phil has up in the chat box. When you sign up, do not miss the one-time offer for the $197 a year for silver. That is dirt cheap advertising for what I just showed you. Even if there was nothing else in SoCool but the 4 boxes I showed you, that is dirt cheap.
I have to tell you something, Jane. I spend a whole lot more than $197 a year in advertising.
Yes. I mean, it's very inexpensive because what you're getting is access to post to 86 social media sites and blogs and the ability to build a list on autopilot and email that list. So there are a lot of other parts of SoCool, but I want to get to Yakimor, which is, I want you to think of SoCool and Yakimor as kind of the flip side of a coin. Like SoCool's the head, and Yakimor, which is our newest site, is you just flip it over, and it's the tail side of SoCool. So, by the way, Phil's in the chat. Before I go to Yakimor, Phil's in the chat box, and you are welcome to be asking him any questions about SoCool and Yakimor as we're talking. Because I know this is a little bit tough to grasp on first glance. But let's log out of SoCool for a minute, and we'll go over to Yakimor. Okay, so what is Yakimor? Yakimor is a site that's a little bit more like Twitter. It's not quite as complicated as SoCool because it is a posting site, but you don't post to 86 social media sites and targeted blogs. You can post at Yakimor like you would at Twitter to all of your Yakimor followers. There's my dog Cuddles on cue. Somebody's at the door. He's barking. So it's a posting site, but if you post to your Yakimor followers or trackers as we call them, and you can post back to SoCool. So from the posting angle, let's sign in. It's really much more simple than SoCool is. Log in here. But it's also in some ways more, your post in some ways is more interesting, which I'm going to show you. Okay, when you log in, you get to a posting page like you would for Twitter or any of the social media sites. And it says it's time to yak, right? So if you click on here, it opens up a posting box. And let's just put something in, we're doing a webinar with Sousa of Easy Money Bots. Come join us. And I'll just put in the Yakamore URL. Okay, so unlike SoCool, where you saw you could post to all of the sites and you could ping the web blogs and you could stand on your ear and do a million things, right? Here, you can either, if you say Yak Now, it'll just show to your trackers at Yakamore, or you can post to SoCool. So you can post to Yak and SoCool at the same time, or just Yakamore. So right now I've been doing a lot of we'll post to SoCool. Okay. So now I can click Yak Now, and it will go to all of my trackers. I'll show you where you find those in a minute. You can see I have 13,891 follurs at Yakamore. So my post can be seen by them. I can also do what I was showing you at SoCool. I can target my post. And at Yakamore, you'll see that these again are what I signed up to Yakamore with when I originally signed up. But I can also, at Yakamore, I can buy groups of trackers, and it's not very expensive to buy them. So these are my first three categories that I signed up with, but I've added food and restaurant, and you guys are going to see why I added that in about a week. It's going to be very interesting. And politics, which is something I'm interested in, spiritual and religious things. I actually bought these categories, and I added 41 trackers here and 188, and I can still add 1,000 more when I want to. So you can target your posts, and targeting your advertising is very, very, very important. Now, most people just post to everyone, and I do too, but when I really have something that should be targeted to just one group, I can select that group and I can post. So for today, let's just go Yak Now, and that's it. It says thanks for the yak, right? And it's going to show on my Make a Yak page. So who's seeing that? 13,000 people. Now, here, that's what I just posted, and that shows up here. And it also shows up to my my people at SoCool. Now, SoCool is only, Yakamore is only about 6 weeks old. So how did I get 13,000 people following me? This is really the interesting part and why I call Yakamore the flip side of SoCool. Everyone who signs up under you at SoCool is automatically signed up at Yakamore under you. In other words, your downline of sign-ups at SoCool are automatically your trackers at Yakamore. Now, this is building 2 lists for you at one time. You can never, if you never advertise Yakamore, you will still build a group of followers at Yakamore, because let's say you're advertising SoCool and they're signing up under you at SoCool. So Frank, everyone who's signing up under you at SoCool right now, and you are always getting signups there, is also in your downline at Yakimore. That means two things. Like So Cool, Yakimore has an emailer. So where it says email trackers, all of those people who are over from your So Cool site are also here at Yakimore, and every 3 days, I can't email them now because I had used this earlier today, but every 3 days I now have a second list. Many of them are the same members as they are over at So Cool, although I also get signups at Yakimore. But instead of now being able to email every 3 days, I can essentially email the second list. I wouldn't email the same thing that I just sent to my other list at So Cool. But you can email something different to your list every 3 days. So we're now building you 2 lists at one time because you don't have to go and get your sign up over to Yakimore. They are auto-signed up when they sign up at So Cool. And that's part of our terms of service at So Cool. So they're getting a double whammy. We're giving them an account over at Yakimore. Now, why do I say this is the flip side? We added things to Yakimore that are not really in So Cool. And I'll show you some very interesting things that are really a little bit subtle, but they make a huge difference. If you look down here in these posts, I'm an executive member, which is like a founding member, and that's the highest membership that you can have at Yakimore. People can be reading my post, and if they happen to go like this over, is this going to open up, Phil, now? Because why does it say JavaScript void? Oh, there it goes. Okay. If they click on this little arrow, not only are they going to see my post, but my main website that I put on my profile in Yakimore, which is So Cool, they're going to see my main website, and they're going to see my location and where I'm located. So they're going to find that I'm in New York City. Now, you don't have to show that, but it is really a very cool feature of Yakimore that people can actually be sort of wandering around your post and saying, yeah, okay, and then just kind of go here, and all of a sudden this thing opens up for them, and they see your main website, which you put in your profile, and they see your location. If you don't want that to show in the settings, you can just turn that off, but this is a very powerful part. There are also, I don't know if you guys know this, but Twitter is now selling or beginning to sell what they call sponsored tweets. And if you try to buy them, they start at $5,000 a month, and they go to $100,000 a month. Now, most of us in small businesses are not going to spend that kind of money to get a sponsored tweet, and that means that your tweet or your post just simply stays on a page, and so it's always visible. Well, at Yakimore, we set it up so that you can purchase what we call a sponsored yak, meaning that in position 3 and position 7 on the main posting page, you're going to see what we call sponsored yak, and here's one that one of our members bought. So this stays here all the time. If you buy one of these, they rotate. And I don't remember. You can go to advertise on, and everything, by the way, is navigated here. Just click on a blue button and you can go all over Yakimore. But if you go to advertise on Yak, you'll see what the price is. It's really very inexpensive. What is it, $50 a month, or and you can do it month by month to advertise, to get your ad that shows on this page, and it also shows, let's go to the profile page. You have a profile page. On every free member, only executive members, which I am, don't see those sponsored posts. But all of the free members of Yakimore have that on their profile page. That's very strong advertising. So we added some features to Yakimore. where you can get a list built for you because it's coming from Soful. You can get real featured yaks, and you can get this thing where it shows where your website goes. What's even more interesting, and most people don't pick this up, but it is very, very important. Let's go back to the Make a Yak page for a minute. Hello. Okay, so we're back on the Make a Yak page. When you see this, executive member, free member, executive member. First of all, if you're an executive member or a business member, we have another level of paid membership. Your posts are going to stand out. One, because you can make 500 characters, and free members can only post, like Twitter, 180 characters. They get a little bit more than Twitter. But our executive members are able to post much more. There's Cuddles posted something. And if you're an executive, now this is important, guys, because on your profile page, it identifies you with a shield, or I guess you call it a shield. Let's go back to the profile page. You can advertise your Yakamore profile page, and people can sign up right from your profile. See how it says executive member, and we have other memberships that say business membership, and they get like a seal like that. This sets your page out, makes it stand out from other people's pages. And, we all talk about, the level playing field and all of that. In marketing, you don't want a level playing field. You want to actually stand out from the crowd. So this is a very subtle addition that we made. You also have this at Soful as a founding member. But at Yakamore, the price is much lower for a founding membership. And you even have it as a business member, where it would say business member, and you would have a shield here that says business member. And it's a mark of authority. Let's call it that. So you always want to try to stand out, because if you're running any site on the net, you have a lot of competition. Any way that makes you stand out is really something that you want to try to achieve. Okay, so I want to make sure that we have time for a wrap up and some questions at the end. Let's just go to one other main thing at Yakamore. Make a Yak is where you post, right? Very easy. Here's where you email your trackers, but there is something called Manage Yakins. This is similar to Sokins. It's not exactly the same thing. But if you go to Manage Yakins, you will see you have a certain amount of Yakins in your what's called the Yakins box. And here, this shows my trackers. This shows my Yakins. What am I going to do with Yakins, and how do I get them? Every time that I sign somebody up under me at Yakamore, I pick up 5 of these Yakins. And every time that you get somebody who upgrades under you, you pick up Yakins. If you yourself upgrade, you pick up Yakins. So over time, you build up a bunch of Yakins. What do you do with them? You exchange them for instant trackers. You don't even have to go in like we did at Sokul and go track, and build up your Sokins account. Here, just go to the bottom of the page, go to Manage Yakins. And in this case, I'm just going to use 10 of my Yakins. I want to add 10 people to my tracking list. I want 10 more people following me right now today. Okay, so how am I going to get them? I'm going to go to Get Random Trackers. I'm going to select a package, meaning I want to pick up, I said I would pick up 10 new trackers, right? So 10 regular trackers, meaning not targeted. I'm not going to go into targeted today. You can also get targeted trackers. But now I'm just going to take any old 10 members who are not already following me at Sokul, and I'm going to go click to exchange. And these people, this is obviously a fake sign up, but I now have 9 real people who I just added to my list of trackers. And now you can see that my Sokens went down by 10. And if I go back to, I don't know what that total there is, but you see this tracking thing just went up by 10 trackers. So what I'm doing is I'm accumulating these Yakins, and more you're going to see that not only are we going to start offering so-called bonuses all over the net, because many sites carry them, including Easy Money Bots, but we will be offering Yakins, and if you upgrade at some site, at some other site at the net, you might be able to pick up 10 Yakins or 50 Yakins or 100. That may not sound as much as 5 million Sokens, but it's a different degree because you are instantly able to exchange them. I could right now, if I wanted to use all my Yakins, pick up 2,000 additional followers at Yakimore. So this is very powerful because remember, I can then go right back here and go to email them. And now I have 10 more new faces on my list. And it's that fast and it's that instant. So let's recap. So Cool and Yakimore are basically advertising tools. They give you a way to make sales for your Easy Money Bot book or for any site that you're advertising, because they let you reach the 2 main audiences that you now need to reach online. One is the audience that's at social media, which is very powerful. And the second audience is your list that you can email every 3 days right to their contact address. They have subtle differences, but basically they work as a pair, SoCool and Yakimore, because we feed from SoCool into Yakimore. And in fact, I think we now have more than, I think we have about 80,000 people at SoCool, but we even have more, maybe another 5,000 at Yakimore, because everyone on SoCool is now on Yakimore, right? But people sign up to Yakimore because they find it around the net, or I promote it, or somebody else promotes it, and they sign up directly to Yakimore. So you can even probably get a bigger list down the road at Yakimore, even though it's just a tiny little beginning site. And it does let you target your posts and your emails just as SoCool does. So I think I'm going to wrap up. Frank, do you have any questions? Or if anyone has any questions, let Phil know that you have a mic, and we'll unmute you, and you're welcome to ask us something. But first I'm going to take Frank's questions, because he's always struggling with what do these sites do?
Well, I think you've done a wonderful, wonderful job. And again, I'm always looking on the internet for different ways to drive traffic. And that is exactly why we wanted to get you on this call, because I know there was so much more potential there than what I was using.
Yeah,
you
really have to use it. I mean, that's the one thing.
you really motivated me. You really motivated me to get in and use this a lot more. As far as questions, I guess the one question that I have is your Yakimore and your SoCool mailing list is going to be pretty much the same, so why would you want to use the 2 of them? Why wouldn't you want to use just one?
Oh, okay. That's a very good question. And yes, they are, for all intents and purposes, the same mailing list and the same posting list. But the reason that it's so nice to have both of them is, let me give you an example. I own about 270 lists, but I also belong to other people. I know it's a lot.
Yeah, I get them all.
Right, you get them all, I know. But I also mail to other people's lists. Usually there's a restriction on that. You can only mail every 3 days. That's a very common restriction, or every 7 days. Depends on the site. So what you want to do is you want to use SoCool one day to mail a message about whatever it is you want to mail that day.
Okay.
And then you can leave Yakima, mail them something else. What I wouldn't do is mail them the same, obviously, email that you just sent them yesterday or whatever. So, but you do have a captive audience. This is going right into their email accounts. Did my just lose my audio because I have a message?
No, you're here.
Okay, so you play them off against each other. One day you send them maybe a promo. The next day you would take that same list and maybe give them some advice or something free that you're offering, or a tip. You do want to use these social media sites in more than one way. You don't want to just pepper people with ads. You do want to give them good information and give them, I don't care what field you're working in, you have some expertise in that field. And you do want to use it so that you can post something of value to people that's not always an ad. So I do different things at SoCool and at Yakima. I will post something at Yakima that's different than I do at SoCool. But it is very convenient to have one site building another site for you. And also, you can get more traffic by this manage your Yakins is very powerful, because whoever you have at SoCool, I mean, I don't have 80,000 people who are tracking me, obviously. So at SoCool, I only have 13 or 14,000 or whatever it is. Here, where I'm accumulating Yakins, I now can get a whole other group of people. So it's not really the same group of people. You can keep adding through your Yakins by exchanging your Yakins for trackers. You can add either targeted ones, or you can add just the general audience. So it's really like having two lists, and it's also having I would call the posting, except at SockWall. SockWall's the strongest place to post. But this Make a Yak, where when you're an upgraded member and you can really say something, and it's a very nice looking post that captures people's attention with that arrow that takes them to your location and your map. Here's an executive member. Let's see if he put his, this is his main, this is Rainer Elter, and he's an executive member, and this is his main website when I clicked on it, and this is his location. And this is very powerful stuff that we don't have at SoCool. So they're slightly different, but they are like two sides of a coin. And I would urge you, because they're both very cheap in terms of advertising, because you can become a business member here, which doesn't lets you mail every 7 days instead of 3 days. But that's also $197. This is very, very inexpensive advertising. So you're emailing, even at SoCool or at here, you're posting and you're emailing. Every single day you can post, and in fact you can post 10 times a day if you're a business member. I don't know why people do that, but in fact, I do not. We always give you the ability to post as an upgraded member 10 times a day or 15 times a day. If you do that, you're going to drive your followers, they're going to block you. So don't post 10 times a day, because that's sort of, it's a gift that I don't think is a very good gift. Often I say to myself, maybe we should just limit it to 2 posts a day. Don't spam your, it's not technically spam unless you're emailing. But if you post 10 times a day to people, they're going to be sticking their tongue out at you. So don't do it. Just post 1 or 2 times a day. It's not necessary to post all that.
No, not really. And you want to give people real information too, real content. And for my users, I mean, you've got these ebooks up there with real solid information in it. So let these people know what you have. And my goodness, that's so important.
Right, and they will get sign-ups. If you're using the Easy Money Bot sign-ups, you will get books, I mean, you will get people to sign up, especially if you do it in a hit them over the head way. I have something free for you. I'd love it. I'd love you to take a look. Tell them a little bit about it because you do get 500 characters, and you will begin to get traffic to your Easy Money Bot sites. There's no doubt about it. I got to tell you guys, I have huge lists, but when I want to make sales, it is to SoCal and to Yakima that I go. And I think most of you know I make a lot of sales. But you can do exactly what I'm doing. I am no different than you. I go in every day and I make a post on SoCal, and I go in every day that I can email, that every 3 days, and I email my trackers. So it is that simple. It is not complicated. And it takes 2 minutes. It is not a long, you can do it in between coffee and orange juice in the morning. I mean, literally, it is not hard, and it doesn't take long. Now, I do want to offer, Frank, if you don't mind, just 2 more minutes. We did, Phil reminds me on the follow-along link. Where is that follow? I'm going to put that up.
SoCoolDeals.com/webinars/SoCyak. Is that it?
Yeah, right. So here it is on the screen. And this just gives you an idea of what we were talking about today. But we did recently, because people asked us, we used to have a 3-year membership at SoCal. So what Phil did, which is for webinars, is he extended that to a 5-year membership. And the price is $697 for 5 years, which means that you save a whole lot of money over the silver membership where you pay $197 a year. But what he's done for you, because we knew we were going to talk about SoCal and Yakima, is if you buy this gold membership, which you can break up, by the way, to $250 a month in 3 payments. If you buy the gold membership, we are going to throw in a full free business membership, which only sells for $197 on the one-time offer. If you're in Yakima right now, you're going to pay $297 for a year, for a business year. That goes in free. So you get a 5-year membership right here, which you can pay for, and you can pay for it in 3 easy payments if you can't swing the $697. And we're going to throw in a free year of Yakima. And everything you saw me do at Yakima, you get as a business member. You get to email every 7 days. And all you do is use this link. If you're not a SoCal member, please sign up under Frank's link. And then this is just a pay link. It won't give you the upgrade. It's a manual upgrade. So I will upgrade your account. How many SoCals are you giving them?
5 million?
9 million SoCals.
Oh, 9 million. Okay.
9 million SoCals comes with this, and then a free yearly membership at Yakima. I really want you to take your Easy Money Bots site and whatever ebooks you're working on and get them onto these sites. They are very powerful, and we're trying to give you the best deal we know how. And believe me, this is one of the best deals we have ever offered, because we don't throw in a full year of business memberships anywhere. So take a look at this after the webinar. If it's for you, I really, really highly recommend it. And then if you also are an upgraded member at Easy Money Bots, of course, you get 5 million SoCals. So between these 2 deals, you're ending up with 14 million SoCals. And you just saw what I did with SoCals. That means you can offer, I wouldn't offer 2 million SoCals.
So you could build a list very quickly.
Very quickly. You just offer 50,000 SoCals or 100,000 out of your 14 million, and you are going to have one heck of a list very fast. So I hope, guys, that this gave you an overview. The sites are not complicated to use, but you should be using them every single day. Now, if anybody has any questions and you have a mic, I'm happy to open up the mic for you. Just let Phil know that you They have something to say.
Right, and
We'll
if
be
you don't have
happy.
a mic, just type your question into the screen sharing area there, and Phil can pass that across.
Right. So if anyone has something that, is there a question, Phil, that a
The
general
basic
question?
idea, and the reason that I wanted Jane on this call, is because I just wanted to give everybody some ideas about how to promote that ebook. And I mean, you know, once again, we've talked about using private label rights books, how to use the cover creator to make new covers and to rename the book. And my goodness, you could be putting up one or two of these one a day easily. And I want to see you guys make some money. I've told you this so many times that I'm here to help you. And if
And
there's anything I can do,
and
please
Easy
let me know.
Easy Money Bots, Frank, is so suited to social media
Perfect.
because of the free giveaway of these ebooks. It
Right.
is this is where you guys should be promoting Easy Money Bots because they fit like hand in glove. And you will start to make sales and sign-ups. If you use either Yakima or SoCool or both of them regularly, you really, really will start to make sales for Easy Money Bots. So I think we're going to wrap this up. And thank you so much for joining us. You can always reach us through support. You can always reach Frank, of course, through support at Easy Money Bots if you have any questions. If you can grab this special, put your hands on it. You won't have to think about payments for the next 5 years, which is always a very lovely thing to have. So, oh yeah, I can do everything that I want at SoCool. So this is a really good deal. If you can swing it, grab it. And Frank, thank you so much for doing this with us. We'll send you the recording on this, and so you can get it to whoever missed out on it, and I will do the same.
Very good. Thank you so much, Jane, and we'll talk to you guys later.
Yep.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.